Hey Blipsounds, it's Brian Seeley back with the April competition winner announcement video. I am excited to get to this. I apologize for being a little late. I have bronchitis and I was feeling like crap for the last couple of days. I'm feeling better now, but as you can hear in my voice, it sounds a lot deeper than it normally does because sickness, yay. I'm really excited to dive into this video, and I'm really excited for everything. You guys all get a treat because we're going to be reviewing all of the videos that were entered in. We only had 6 people this time around, and everybody did a fantastic job. So I'm really excited to dive into these and break them down. As a reminder, we did the Master Level Fireball from Skyrim in honor of the 25th anniversary of the original Elder Scrolls game that came out, and I'm really excited to dive into what you guys all did. So let's go ahead and do that now. So like I said, we had 6 videos, or we had 6 entries total, and so first up is Synesthete. I'm going to check out their video. So I like a lot of what Synesthete was doing. My biggest critique is that it's overall it's too loud of a sound, especially on the build up. I like that explosion. It had a really nice sound to it. It definitely felt very impactful and reminded me a lot of like a summer blockbuster movie or AAA video game. Like that was a great explosion. My biggest critique is honestly that it was just too loud on the overall buildup. The buildup sounded louder than the explosion. And that's part because there's a lot of high-end information in the buildup, and so that's going to sound louder than the explosion, which is mostly low-end. And you can also tell how loud a video is if you guys have never done this before. If you right-click on a YouTube video and click Stats for Nerds, and under Volume Normalization, you can see that the video or the volume was actually turned down by 1.3 dB. So this would have been too loud in general. Like I said, I like the explosion. It had a really good effect to it. I like that that build up towards the explosion. That just that pause, that breath before the explosion makes the explosion feel bigger, and I really like that. It's just that build up overall was too loud. I think if you would have done more of either a volume ride or volume automation, you could have made it sound a lot more, given a lot bigger build. But like I said, great job overall. And we're going to move on to the next one, who is Jiaolo Yang, which is our 5th video. And let's check this one out. Again, really good job of watching the video and tracking where there's space in the video to add space in your sound. Now, I don't know if this was an issue with compression, like digital compression or something, but there was no low end to this video, no oomph to the explosion. It feels all very just mid-rangey, almost like you had a bandpass filter on it. Not sure what happened, if that was how it exported, if that's how it loaded to the video. If something did go wrong, do get in touch with us and let us know. But it feels very mid-rangey. There's a lot of good things going on in here. I love that build-up. I love the crescendo. Again, that breath that happens. Really good use of just giving it that time to breathe right before the explosion, and that helps the explosions feel bigger, like when there's that breath, when there's time to breathe. We're going to move on to the next one, which is Swirled. So I like that explosion. I like the buildup. I like that little, what is that, a guitar or a synth or something underneath it? Yeah, that adds like some extra suspense to it, which is really nice. And again, really great use of breath, of just taking that pause right before the explosion, taking the cue from the video to realize, oh, there should be a breath there. I like the explosion. I like that it feels like an explosion that goes out. I feel like there could have been some more oomph to it, maybe adding a little bit more low end, maybe adding some sort of a hit or something underneath it to give it more weight. Because remember, this is the master level fireball, so this is the top level that you can get to with the fireball in there. And if you've worked for most of the game to build up from, like, you want it to feel the biggest. You want to feel like there's a payoff, not just in that you can kill more enemies with this, but that there is some sort of audio payoff. There's definitely a visual payoff, but you also want an audio payoff as well. Like, if you've worked on trying to get this level up, there should be some kind of payoff for it. Like, yes, this feels huge. So adding a little bit more low end to that, maybe some sort of a low end attack or a hit or something, would bring more of that explosion out. But I really love the build. I really love the suspense and the tension that you create with, I think it's a guitar sound or something underneath. Great job overall of setting that up. It feels very cinematic. I will say that. Like, I really enjoy that. Next up, our fourth video is an hunt sound. I like the voice that you add in, that it adds a little bit more character to it. And we've had some people in the past and their competitions have added some voices to it in some way, shape, or form, and I enjoy that. It's always a nice touch. Great oomph. I think you could have had more of a breath, like more of a break when they're doing that build-up. It just kind of flows right into it, and you know, again, from the animation, there's a brief pause from the build-up to the explosion. And I think you could have taken advantage of that to make the explosion feel better. You could leave like the grunting sounds in, but almost make like that magic sound disappear more, make it feel more like a breath, where you had this boom, and it like I said, it makes the explosion feel bigger. It makes it feel more powerful and impactful, and that's always a good thing. Like I said, great build up, great use of making it sound like fire. Making fire sounds without fire is really hard, so good job with that. Next up is Squosh. Now, Squosh does something that no one else has done, and I'm going to play it one more time from the beginning and see if anyone picks up on it before I say something. So something that I've harped on in the past has always been a feedback sound, something that lets the player know that they've pushed the button and the action is happening. With this animation, there's really nowhere there's really no way of knowing when the action has started. There's nothing that the animators use outside of the character starting to do the move. There's no visual they've started outside of the, okay, now their hands start waving. But Squosh is the only one of all 6 videos that added in some sort of staccato feedback around the time when the hands start moving. And if I remember correctly, even in the game itself, there's no feedback sound. So Squosh gets the honorable mention for the fact that he took what I've been harping on a lot in past videos about adding in a feedback sound. So when you see Squosh on Discord, give him a virtual high five, because he's the only one that added that in there, and I thought it was a great job. I was listening to it, and a big smile just came across my face. So Squosh, congrats to you for making a sick person smile. And then he reuses that sound to accentuate that breath, which I thought was a really nice touch. If you listen during the build-up right before the explosion. So he uses that staccato sound as both a beginning of the build-up and to end the build-up to accentuate that pause or that breath right before the explosion. So great job overall. Great use of your dynamics and of the low end. It was really enjoyed the video. And now on to our first place is Maxim Shelkovsky. All right, I think Maxim has won in the past. I don't remember, but here is Maxim Shelkovsky's video. So one of the things that I like is the use of making a magic sound. Really great job with that. It was very interesting to use. Kind of, how do you make your fire sound different than everyone else's fire sound? And I really like that you added that in there. Good use of EQ and dynamics. I think you could have made that breath section just a little bit more pronounced. There's a tail when you end that build up before the explosion, and I think if you would have cut that tail a little bit shorter and make the anticipation feel a little bit more pronounced, it would have made the explosion feel even bigger. It's really one of those feel things. Like it's you can't measure this in seconds or even microseconds or in frames. It's almost like a feel thing. You have to feel it for when is that right moment of you've anticipated and you don't know how much longer you're gonna last on that anticipation. But like I said, great job. Congrats to Maxim for winning this month. Like I said, to everybody did a great job. I really enjoyed their interpretations of these sounds. Like I said at the beginning of April, there's not a whole lot with going on in the sound, so it really was an opportunity to create your own interpretation. And I asked you guys to go as big as possible, and you guys delivered, and I really enjoyed it. I'm excited for next month. I have a couple of ideas of what I'm going to be doing next month. I'm excited for May, this month, and I'm really excited to see what you guys are going to do. Again, congrats to Maxim. His what he wins is a free month of our game audio training series. And if you want to know more about that, check down in the link below. There will be a link to our Discord channel and a link to the Blipsounds website. And on the website, you can learn more about the game audio training series, which is a monthly subscription. And we also have access to free training material as well on the Blipsounds page, where you get free training for sound design and for Fmod integration. So check that out if you want to learn more, and and hopefully we'll see you all for next month's competition. Hope you guys have a great month, and peace out.